Hi everybody. I'm over here at a place in South Carolina called Pon-Pon Chapel of Ease in Jacksonboro, South Carolina. I'm really excited to be here because this is what, which I didn't even know what it was. These Chapel of Eases were built out here, like in the Low Country, because clergy and main churches were so far away that they build what they call chapels of ease, so that church members could, I guess, have in a way like a spiritual retreat, a place to come to if they couldn't make it to the main church. So this is originally, when it was built, it was called St. Bartholomew's Parish. And from what I understand, I know they're preserving it because I think during Hurricane Matthew there was some damage to it. And this is one of South Carolina's original 10 parishes. And like I said, you know, the Central Parish Church was so far away that they built some of these around the countryside. And also it served because it was on it's off a road called Parker's Ferry Road, which was a stagecoach road between Charleston and Savannah. That's how old this place is. I mean, this dates back to, we're talking here colonial times. We're talking pre-Civil War, pre-Revolutionary War. According to what the historians say about during what they called the Yamasee War of 1715, the parish was destroyed and it dispersed. And it wasn't until like 10 years later in 1725 that they basically permitted another church to be built using that Chapel of Ease arrangement. And apparently back in 1959 they had the site was damaged by a hurricane, that it kind of toppled the ruins of the church that I guess was already eroding. Kind of gives you an idea just how old this place is. You can tell that's being held up, because otherwise that front wall would have toppled by now. And I imagine that, like I said, restoration is on this place is being done, but like all things, it just takes a while and money, like all things. And of course, there's a lot of history here as far as the people that are buried from like the county and from South Carolina. Let's see. I'm just gonna see if we capture anything, guys. And yeah, from what I'm reading is the first chapel that they had out here was made of wood, and then the one that they rebuilt in 1950s is what you see here, that was made out of brick. Here we have Catherine Gordon. Okay, age 62 years. 5 days, 8 months and 5 days, 1849, Anno Domini. Wow. Okay, let's see what we got over here. By the way, this is January out here, and I'm lucky because I actually came in a little bit. The weather's not quite that cold. Look at this. This is Hutchins, Esquire, sacred to the memory. Native of Charleston, who departed this life on the 15th day of October, 1820. Age 72 years, 9 months, and 5 days. He was a useful and respectable citizen. He was a charitable and benevolent in his disposition, upright and honest. Okay, and you can tell that that's been mended there. Wow, I cannot tell. This is Sarah Hutchins, age 52 years. It's probably his wife. I'm sure that there's a lot of other graves here that over the years have disappeared because the memorials just basically eroded. So if I'm stepping on anybody's grave, I'm sorry. Okay, looks like it's some type of well. Oh heck yeah, look at that. That's an old well. It's still got water in there. Let's see what it says here. In memory of Lawrence Senator, Herbert Red GPDDDS, 1996. I guess it's a more modern memorial, but maybe they paid for, luckily for nobody to step in. You could get really hurt. We really don't know how far down that well goes, the water. And of course, remember folks, this is once upon a time when the population was not as much as it is now. This is where people, especially the important citizens, would get buried in the graveyard outside, basically on church property. This is Elizabeth Campbell, who departed this life. Wow. This is from 1803, I believe. Aged only 3 years, 2 days. This was a child. Lillian William McCantus. This is from 1829. Let me tell you something. I don't know if any of these things have been re-etched, but if they haven't, this is from what, 1881? O.P. Williams. This is Anne Elliott Lewis, betrothed wife of Joseph P. William, died April 17th of 1883. I wonder what they mean by betrothed. I don't know if were they betrothed and they never got to marry. You could tell they took down this big tree that was here. Joseph Williams, born June of 1852, died January of 1877. Oh, they were married because he died before her. By the way, also I was reading up in this area, at some point they really would have a lot of like plagues, like diphtheria, which they were saying that claimed a lot of children's lives. Because out here in the low country in South Carolina, you have these boggy marshes, and it's like, I don't know who's this memorial here, father and mother. Okay, volunteered called in 1917, so I know this has got to be at least after World War I. Here we go. And Henry Jennings McCants, son of Paul blah blah blah, died February 14th of 1920. He was a Mason. And sacred to the memory of Lawrence Sanders, youngest son of Paul Witzel and Susan Haig McCants. So she was McCants. Okay, blah blah, and passed away 1889, killed in naval service for his country somewhere on the Atlantic. Wow. Let's see. Okay, another Archibald Campbell. This must have been a child. No, I'm sorry, that was 1860. Born at Gwinnett, June of 1799. Died at Somerville, South Carolina. I want to say, is that 1800 or 1866? It's like, sometimes it's really difficult to tell with these etchings, especially if they start. You could tell that Archibald name, Archibald Lawrence Campbell, born of 1822, October 21st, 1822, died January 8th, 1896. And also Mary Blake Sanders. Okay. Let's see. Okay, whatever was there is gone. That's what I mean about there are probably a lot of graves here that have gone by the wayside. They're there, they're interred, but you can tell, see, there was rain out here. And I don't know what this is, except, and of course, as you can tell, whatever was etched here is like really something wow. I cannot make it out. And yeah, and I've made this comment on other times that I've gone to cemeteries. Whenever you get memorials that are flat like that, the inscription disappears really, really fast. The weather does a number on it. Here's another. This is, let me tell you, I'm out here in broad daylight, but this is spooky as, and by the way, this is in the middle of nowhere. I'm out in the middle of the woods. There's nobody. When I say nobody out here, there's nobody out here. This is really spooky. I would think twice about even coming out here at night, because this place must, God, if there's any place that you would think is haunted, this has got to be it. This has, if it not, sure looks like it. Let me see if I can make out what this says. Okay. Sacred to the memory of Savannah. Is that Nellie? No. Can't make that out. Oh, sacred to the memory. I can't make that one out. Darn it. So yeah, I'm sure that a lot of things took place out here. It's off, like I said, a very busy stagecoach road, which was where people would go between Charleston and Savannah. Let's see. As you could tell, little by little, it is crumbling away. Like I said, it's incredible that it has withstood as much as it has. Okay, I'm thinking that was the entrance, because I think they put that there. So I imagine maybe the nave or whatever would have been back here. And this looks like maybe at one point this was some type of window. What is that? I don't know, for a minute there I thought there was something stuffed in there. Okay. All right. Okay, just, what? Yeah, you could tell up there. Oh, this is a beautiful place. It's very spooky, but in a very beautifully eerie way. And I just don't have the time right now to just sit out here, but I'm sure if somebody could spend at least an hour here and just sit and just watch really quietly, I'm sure a lot of things could be captured on EVP or even on the camera, and I'm hoping that that's the case with this video that I'm taking, which I will not be able to tell until I get it back home. Wow. Yes, very beautiful. Very beautiful. And I've always said it, in places like this, there's usually, whether it's active or residual, there's always a lot of power. You know, a lot of people would come here with their prayers, with their hopes, with their sorrows. If you had someone buried here, people would come here sometimes, and I hate to say this, in moments of desperation, because that's when everybody flocks to their place of worship. Not I'm talking about usual service, but let me see what they got over there. I didn't see that plaque. So you've got a lot of human emotion that gets, I just got a whiff of like a dying animal kind of deal. What? Let's see. Okay, let me see what it says here. Ruins of Pon-Pon Chapel of Ease, St. Bartholomew Parish. 1796 parish established. Reverend Nathaniel Osborne, missionary of the SPGAR. 1715 parish was devastated by Yamasee Indians. Something 1972 Act of General Assembly provided for a chapel of ease be used as parish church until one should be blah blah something by John Wesley preached here April something 1753, ordered a brick building to replace the one building which was burnt between 1796 and has since been known as the Burnt Church. This was erected by the National Society of Colonial Dames. Yeah, I believe that there was a structure, the first one was known as the Burnt Church. I remember that now. Okay. This is a poor dove that's died. I don't think that was what was smelling, because this looks pretty recent. It doesn't, I don't know, maybe it flew into the wall and it hurt, or it's just old and died. But that wasn't what was smelling. That's pretty fresh. Okay, dead birds at the church. Okay, sure. All right, let's see. Yeah, and you know what? The truth is, I'm surrounded by woods. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's nothing out here. There is nothing out here. So if I do smell something like dead animal, wouldn't be surprising if there are dead animals. You know, that happens when you're out here. There's a lot of birds, a lot of cardinals. I don't think the audio's picking it up, but yeah. There's my trusty Henry, my lookout. Yeah, we have a running joke. He kind of weirds out when we go to these really remote places. He starts hearing like dueling banjos in the background. You know what I'm talking about, Deliverance. Yeah. So yeah, it's funny. So smile, we're on camera, good. Whoever that is. Hey, hi. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I love these places. They have so much history. Like I said, if I had more time, I would just sit out here and see what would happen. All of you rest in peace.